The call came an hour earlier. Is this Daniel Hale? Yes. This is Officer Martinez. We need you to come down to the station regarding a vehicle registered in your name. Registered in my name. The word settled like sediment in water. Of course, I said. No questions. I already knew. My sister Claire had borrowed my car that afternoon. Claimed hers was in the shop. She'd smiled when she asked. Too carefully. She always smiles when she lies. There was a pause on the line. Sir, were you driving near Brookside Avenue around 4:15? No. Silence. A long one. Just come in. I hung up. I didn't rush. Didn't panic. Instead, I walked to the kitchen where my parents and Claire were sitting at the table. Wine glasses half full. Faces too alert for a casual evening. Claire's eyes flicked up first. There it was. Fear. Not for the victim. Not for me. For herself. You okay? She asked. I studied her. She looked like our mother when she was cornered. Soft voice, sharpened eyes. I have to go out, I said. My father's jaw tightened. To the station? So they already knew. Of course they did. Apparently, I said. No one offered to come with me. No one asked why. Claire took a sip of wine. Her hand trembled. She thought this was over. She thought I'd go quietly. She underestimated how long I'd been watching her. The accident was ugly. A pedestrian struck at dusk. Critical condition. Witnesses reported a gray sedan fleeing the scene. My gray sedan, registered to me. Insurance under my name. License plate tied to my address. Claire had been driving. I knew it without asking. She'd always been reckless. Careless with other people's things, including mine. But this wasn't new. The betrayal started years ago. The inheritance. Grandmother left the lake house to both of us. Claire convinced my parents I was unstable. Said I'd been drinking. Said I was spiraling. I wasn't. They believed her anyway. I signed temporary management over to her. Temporary became permanent. The paperwork disappeared. So did my trust. Tonight wasn't about a car. It was about a pattern. As the officer read me my rights, I watched Claire's earlier expression replay in my mind. Not guilt. Calculation. She'd expected this. They all had. The scapegoat son. The quiet one. The one who never fights back. They thought I'd accept it like I always had. I didn't argue when they placed me in the back of the cruiser. Didn't ask for a lawyer. I just leaned my head back and closed my eyes. Because they forgot one tiny detail. And I'd built everything around it. 2 weeks ago, Claire asked to borrow my car. I have a date, she'd said. I agreed. But I'd already grown tired of being collateral damage in her life. So I installed a dash cam, front and rear, audio enabled. Cloud synced. She never checks for consequences. That afternoon, my phone buzzed at 4:17 p.m. Motion alert. I opened the app. I watched her through my own windshield. Music loud, phone in hand, laughing. And then, impact. A body crossing mid-street. A thud. A scream. Her scream. She froze for half a second. Then she looked into the rearview mirror. And drove. No, 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 she whispered. But she kept driving. I didn't call her. I didn't call the police. I archived the footage. Downloaded backups. Sent copies to an encrypted drive. Because I knew how this would unfold. Claire doesn't confess. She redirects. By the time she returned my car that night, she'd rehearsed. Everything okay? I asked. Fine, she said. No eye contact. I could smell adrenaline on her. My parents arrived 10 minutes later, unannounced. Family dinner. How convenient. They were setting the stage. I said nothing. I watched. I waited. And when the police called tonight, I wasn't surprised. I was ready. At the station, they processed me like I was already guilty. Fingerprint ink under my nails. Cold bench, fluorescent lights that make everyone look sick. An officer stepped in with a folder. We have 2 witnesses who identified the vehicle. Of course, I said. He frowned. You seem very calm. I met his eyes. May I make a call? He hesitated, then nodded. I didn't call a lawyer. I sent an email. 1 attachment. Subject line, Brookside 4:17 p.m. Recipient Officer Martinez. 30 seconds later, his phone buzzed. I watched the shift happen in real time. Confusion, focus, then something else. Where did you get this? He asked quietly. It's my car, I said. He watched the footage again. Claire's face illuminated by dashboard light. Her voice clear. "Oh my God, I hit him." The room felt very small. "You weren't driving," he said. "No." Another pause. "You understand this changes things?" "I do." He stood. "I need to make some calls." Across town, I imagined the celebration collapsing. The wine glasses freezing mid-air. The phone ringing. Claire's face draining of color as she realizes. I didn't break. I recorded. They brought her in just before midnight. Mascara smeared. "Denial ready." "This is insane," she snapped when she saw me. "You set me up." I almost smiled. "Set her up." "No, I just let her be herself." The officer played the footage on a monitor. No commentary, just her voice, her hands, her choice. She turned to me. "You could have told me you had cameras." "You could have stopped," I said. That was all. Our parents arrived soon after. My mother looked at me like I'd betrayed her. "How could you do this to your sister?" The question hung in the air. I felt something inside me detach, cleanly, like a thread being cut. "I didn't," I said. Claire was crying now. Real tears. Not for the victim. For herself. For the future she thought she controlled. They led her away in cuffs. The same metallic click. Only this time it wasn't around my wrists. I stood. Free. My father wouldn't meet my eyes. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel smaller than them. The charges against me were dropped before sunrise. The record wiped clean. I stepped outside into the pale gray of early morning. Cold air. Honest air. My phone buzzed. Dozens of missed calls. Family. I silenced it. There would be no confrontation. No reconciliation. They chose their version of me long ago. Tonight they were forced to see the truth. Not about the accident. About me. I am not their scapegoat. I am not their weakness. I am not the son who absorbs impact so others can keep driving. Claire will face court. My parents will face silence. And I will face something far more powerful. Freedom. I let the handcuffs click in my memory one last time. Then I let them go. They thought I'd go to prison for the crash she caused. They forgot one tiny detail. I was the only one who had been paying attention.